Hey there, I'm Cloud Q. Do you dream a lot? Do you have good dreams? Or do you have nightmares a lot? Do you even remember them? How are your dreams? Just a few things to think about, and while you do so, let me tell you how it is for me. Personally, I actually forget a lot of my dreams, or I don't dream. I'm actually not quite sure, to be honest. But when I do dream, I remember they are often strange and confusing. It'll jump from one scene to the next, like my brain is just thinking up random situations that it thinks could or may happen. It's like overthinking, but more silly and fun. Now, you're probably asking, what the heck am I talking about and how does it relate to Final Fantasy VII? Oh, you didn't ask that? Well, I'm gonna explain it anyways. There's a lot that we don't quite understand about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth yet. I don't claim to have all the answers, but I want to share my perspective and explain what evidence I see for it in the game. And I want to start off with this. I don't like the term multiverse for what we see in Rebirth and at the end of Remake. The worlds where we see Zack and Biggs being alive, the worlds in Rebirth that seem to be ending. I think if we think of these worlds as alternative universes, which I think the term multiverse implies, then to me that feels inaccurate. These worlds weren't like complete universes or the real world. They lacked cohesion, and it felt like random mashes of different people, literally from different points of time. These worlds lacked consistency, and they also lacked time. One we saw was literally falling apart. At least that's what the people in it were saying. And it was also evidenced by Biggs finding the Mako reactor to be running dry. So what are they? Remember when I talked about my dreams? These worlds sound a whole lot like dreams to me. So that's why I think that they are dream worlds. I mean, Aerith literally calls them dreams, and maybe that's her giving us a big hint to the nature of these worlds.
What is this? Are we?
We could call it a homecoming. Or homeward bound, maybe? Let's just call it a dream. My dream, to be precise.
I think that these worlds are part of the lifestream, but they are not quite real or not quite whole. They are a state between death in the lifestream and life. They're sort of like an interlude between the world of the living to the lifestream. So I think that's sort of where and how they are manifested. That's why Biggs and Zack are there. But that could also explain why they are sort of temporary. And they are not quite solid and real, but also not quite dissolved in the livestream and a part of it like that. I kind of imagine the Edge of Creation and the last battle of Cloud and Sephiroth in the OG in a similar way to that, especially after what we saw in the end boss fights of Rebirth, which seemed sort of similar to that. Think of it like this. The livestream is like its own being, right? It has a will and it can break. It flows into life and life flows into it. What if it can also dream? What if these worlds are like the dreams of the planet? The way that I think of dreams and experience them honestly feels a lot like the worlds that we see in Rebirth. It doesn't mean that these worlds are not real at all. We do see Cloud interact with them. But I do think that they are a solid space in the livestream rather than their own universes. So they aren't quite as real as the main world of the game. At least that's how I imagine it. Now I want to touch on something that another theory video I saw made me think of. That video by John Q Gamer did a great job of highlighting the importance of the worlds in Sephiroth's plan. After all, he mentions the reunion of worlds multiple times.
These errant worlds, all shall be one again.
The reunion.
It's upon us. The reunion. when worlds merge.
So why are they important? The video suggested something related to Jenova, but since personally I haven't seen any presence of her in any of the dream worlds and the connected interludes, while it's still possible that it might be the case, I have another idea. What if the dream worlds are some kind of safety net? Like, the fragmentation of the worlds could be a way for the planet to fight back and protect itself from the annihilation that Sephiroth is planning. The worlds we see may have been created when we defeated Whisper Harbinger. At least that's when we first saw them. And if that's truly the timing, which would align with when it was shown to us, then it would make sense for the planet to employ such measures, since one of its defensive measures was destroyed by the party and Sephiroth. While the Whispers are not entirely gone, as we see in Rebirth, I think it could still warrant further defense from the planet. So what if the worlds are dividing up the lifestream so it can't be destroyed in one go? Like hiding treasure in different places. Like how Voldemort split his soul and put it in different places, you know? That sort of thing. Perhaps these more concrete spaces can't be absorbed by Sephiroth. And maybe they can't be destroyed as easily. Maybe it's both of those. So maybe that's why he wants to unite the worlds. Maybe that's why he wants a reunion of worlds. But he also says, as worlds unite, so too do they part. So what does that mean then? If he needs them to unite, why does he want them to part again? What if by uniting the worlds, he can bring them to an end, destroy them, and therefore they part again? Perhaps the parting in Sephiroth's plan is not splitting them again, but destroying them. So in the end he can absorb the planet's power through the wound that Meteor will create and then rule forever, as he said. Basically his plan from the OG.
All made whole forever.
To sum that up, I think the dream worlds are just another safety measure of the planet, like the Whispers or weapons. And Sephiroth just wants to unite them, so he can truly destroy the planet. And the world's parting is just him destroying them. Now another thing I got from other theory videos is that Sephiroth seems to hunt Aerith in every one of these worlds that she is in. Which got me thinking, how does hunting Aerith in every world fit into this theory then? To understand that, I think we need to look at the white materia. As we saw, Aerith was able to give Cloud a functioning white materia in the dream world, which he ended up giving to her in another dream. But how does that work? Well, what is materia? Red sorta tells us in Costa del Sol.
Orbs infused with knowledge, memories.
Materia contains memories and wisdom that lets you use magic. The dreams are part of the lifestream. And what can probably travel through the lifestream? Memories and wisdom. And I assume that Sephiroth knows that too, which is why he seeks out Aerith in every world to prevent her from actually getting a functioning materia. At least that could be one of the reasons. But maybe Aerith, as an ancient, has other roles to play in these worlds. Maybe she's sort of the manifestation of hope in these dream worlds that Sephiroth obviously wants gone. Because maybe she, as one of the original stewards of the planet, as a Cetra, has a stabilizing influence on the dream worlds that would be in the way of Sephiroth uniting and destroying them. So yeah, these are my two theories for this. Either Sephiroth was trying to prevent her from getting back the power of Holy from one of the dream worlds, or Aerith actually plays a role in keeping them stable and keeping them from doing a reunion of worlds. There's one last thing. What does my dream world theory mean for the ending and Cloud seeing Aerith at the end? I actually think it makes perfect sense. But I'll let you guys think about that one on your own. So, what do you think of my understanding of a lot of these things? Do you see these things differently? Do you agree with anything? Is there anything you want me to explain further? Let me know in the comments and I'll try to respond. Thank you for watching, leave a like if you enjoyed this. I'm MacLeod and I will see you next time. Goodbye for now. Oh, one last thing. Tifa is Sephiroth. Bye.